Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite techniques or concepts. And I actually use this a lot in my recovery. And I loved it. I loved it because it was such a disruptor. So you see this car kind of revving up, it's gaining speed. We're heading towards this very not great place. And the red light guy is kind of this guy that steps out. I always picture the guy stepping out with a big, huge stop sign. And it just kind of disrupts that thought process. And what's interesting is I still use this today, where I can step in that space and go, no, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that thought process. Because what happens is when our mind starts running like that, whether it's around urges, temptations, whatever the case may be, thoughts that are coming up, what ends up happening is we kind of run down this road, and that really starts ramping up the cycle. And one thing leads to the next, and that pressure builds and builds and builds and builds. And the next thing, you're going into acting out. And what red light guy does, the idea behind it, what it does for us, is it steps into that space and it goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you go down that road, before that tension starts winding up, before that whole cycle starts firing off, how about no? How about we not do that? Right? It stops the process before it starts, which is what we want to do, because it is about to cause us problems and heartache and issue, and we want to prevent that. So that process we go through allows us to divert to something else. And to see that, and we've talked about the pause. When that cycle starts to run up, the pause is what we're looking for. We still want to understand, why am I acting out? Or why am I wanting to act out, rather? Why am I wanting to do that? Where is that coming from? We want to figure that out. And the red light guy is stopping that cycle before it ramps up to the point where we have gone down a road that it feels like we can't return from. Point of no return. So what we want to do is we want to step in that space and go, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you wanting me to act out? Because I don't want to act out. So I need to understand why you want me to, why you're suggesting that I act out, because that's not what we do anymore. That is a process that we want to look into, that we want to dive into. We want to deal with the why. We have to. We have to. And if we don't, we end up going sideways. We get in danger of going down the road. So the idea behind it is to pause this long enough so that we can deal with it. So we can go, wait a minute. Nope, stop. What are you doing? And building this in creates this automated process. So we're building in this automated process that will fire up when something like that happens. And we want it to be automated. Now that takes time, that takes work, that takes effort, but it's something that we work through inside that space of understanding that we have to get to this clear, very clear perspective of where our addict is pushing us to and why. And if we're not doing that, we're in danger sliding back into that behavior. So the red light guy allows us to pause, but then it is followed up with what's going on here. Because again, if you don't deal with that, your mind will continue to revisit it over and over and over again.